disaster. The debris field has been found near the Titanic wreckage after a catastrophic implosion killed the 5 people on board. Transportation correspondent Gio Benitez starts us off from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Good morning, Gio.
George, good morning to you. Yeah, the evidence seems to be pointing to the implosion happening on Sunday when they lost contact with the mothership about an hour and 45 minutes into that dive. Now the heartbroken families, they have made their way to Newfoundland, and we spoke with some of them overnight. This recovery mission now underway after a tragic ending. The Coast Guard saying a catastrophic implosion destroyed the missing sub and took the lives of the 5 people on board.
The debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber. On behalf of the United States Coast Guard and the entire Unified Command, I offer my deepest condolences to the families.
A robot off the ship Horizon Arctic finding the debris field, 1,600 feet off the bow of the Titanic on the sea floor, over 2 miles below the surface.
It's in an area where there is not any debris of Titanic and consistent with the location of last communication for an implosion in the water column.
The robot finding 5 major pieces of debris, making it clear it was the Titan submersible, including the nose cone, along with the front and back end of the pressure hull. The sound of the collapse so loud that the Navy now says an underwater acoustic detection system heard what was likely the implosion of the Titan on Sunday, around the time the sub lost contact with the mothership, immediately sharing that information with the Coast Guard for analysis. The sub essentially collapsing inward under the extreme pressure, which at 12,500 feet underwater is about 370 times the pressure at sea level.
The pressure at that depth will crush anybody or anything. There's no surviving outside of the submarine at that depth. It's going to be instantaneous.
And now it turns out there were concerns within the industry since at least 2018, especially over using carbon fiber and titanium to make the experimental sub.
Carbon fiber is a miraculous material. It's what we're using to build next generation airplanes. But it's not particularly well understood how it works over time in terms of fatigue at depths and in extreme cold.
A former employee warned about the issues with that carbon fiber exterior in 2018 court filings, saying that tiny cracks could become bigger and bigger the farther down it went into that extreme pressure, and the more often it went there. Writing that the vessel should not have been used beyond 4,000 feet, the Titan went to 12,500. That dispute, which was part of a wrongful termination lawsuit settling out of court. The CEO and founder of OceanGate Expeditions, Stockton Rush, who passed away in the implosion, talking to a Mexican actor in 2021, painting himself as a maverick, unafraid of taking risks.
I'd like to be remembered as an innovator. I think it was General MacArthur said, "You're remembered for the rules you break." And, I've broken some rules to make this. I think I've broken them with logic and good engineering behind me. The carbon fiber and titanium, there's a rule you don't do that. Well, I did.
The Titan was the only submersible like it never to be certified, something OceanGate acknowledged on its own website. And now this morning, the families of those lost sharing their words of heartbreak. Businessman Shazadah De Wulf and his 19-year-old son Suleiman, both killed on board. Shazadah's brother Suleiman De Wulf speaking to ABC News overnight.
He was a guy who just wanted to go out there and experience what the world had to offer, even though he himself pushed himself to do it.
His nephew, a teenager who touched many lives.
He was so filled with humbleness and gratitude, and he showed it.
Also lost P.H. Nargeolet, a legendary expert on the Titanic. His daughter saying she found comfort he was in the place he loved most. And British billionaire and explorer Hamish Harding, who was remembered as a loving husband and dedicated father. And something that may provide a little bit of solace here is that the pressure was so intense down there, it all would have happened in less than a nanosecond. They would never have known what was happening to them. And I can't help but think that the Titanic, that's a story that has captivated our attention for 111 years. 1,500 souls were lost, and now, in that very same spot, it has claimed 5 more.